It's Saka against Markovic in front of a hostile Slavia Prague fan base. And it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. Leandro Trossard with a lovely delivery, and Marino is there. He was onside and on point. Rice looking to steer that through towards Marino, and it's in, and it's him again. It's another Declan Rice assist, another Marino goal. The goalkeeper came out, committed himself, but awesome, irrepressible Arsenal are almost unstoppable right now.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Real Arsenal Talk. That's right, with your hosts Larry and Stevie. Stevie, how's it going? How you doing?
Very good, mate. Just getting ready for our lovely little pod. Getting ready to talk about our team tonight. Obviously 3-0 win, so I'm really happy. But yeah, let's crack on because we've probably got lots of things to talk about, lots of analysis. And yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Obviously, look, before we start, I just feel like we have to address what's been happening in terms of YouTube and social media.
Don't do it.
I think we do. I think we do. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because, like I said, just before we came on, we triggered a lot of people with what we discussed, and it's unfortunate, really, because we're going to be. It feels like probably going to be judged just from that one clip of talking about Starboy, and to be honest, we knew what would happen if something like that, if we release something like that, and we did it anyway, because that's what we do here. That's why it's called Real Arsenal Talk. We're not going to just sugarcoat it or love a player when he's not performing. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way real quick, because it's not going to down my mood, because like you said, 3-0 win in the Champions League, away from home, by the way, like to a tough place. And what was the record? Since December 2024 they haven't lost.
I think they've won 14, hasn't it? Something like 14 in Europe or something. They haven't lost 14.
Unbelievable. That is absolutely crazy when you think about it. And then here we go, just good old Arsenal, showing up, and it's like, all right, we're going to end that for you now. Thank you very much. Goodbye. So, look, I'm definitely happy with what I saw tonight. Performance-wise, result-wise, I think it was just, again, another one of those matches where we did what we had to do, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It didn't seem like too much of a struggle, but I don't know, how did you see it? Do you feel the same way about it, or did you maybe?
Yeah, I think you sent me a message, didn't you, saying about the dominance again, and I do get where you're coming from. I mean, the first 5 minutes were a bit shaky. I think obviously they were putting the pressure on us initially, which you understand, they're at home and it's a European game. We withstood that, like you say, and we grew into the game where we were very, very comfortable. But yeah, I mean, obviously I'm happy. It's 3 points. It's effectively we've qualified. You only need 12 points. You could probably lose the next 3 games and still qualify. But I'm not getting carried away. I don't think it was nothing that was outstanding. Obviously, it was just a solid performance. Like Burnley, it was similar sort of performance. We went and did the job. No one played particularly well. We will get onto the player ratings if you want, obviously, at some point. But yeah, it was. I'm not getting excited, mate. Honestly, I'll be genuinely honest with you. I'm not sort of filled with confidence that we can go on and win it. Yes, we've got a lot of players to come back, and yes, there's a lot of games to play. I suppose it was just a job to be done, but I don't know, what did you think? I know obviously you probably do think it was a great job done, but I'm just not impressed really. Yeah, 3-0, great. What can you ask for? Just wasn't impressed by the way we played, but that's just us, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, of course, and for me, I don't really see it as not a good performance. I more see it as in like it was just a performance to get the job done. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
and I know when usually when we say stuff like that, it's sort of like, it comes from a struggling team. We just got the job done, like the 1-0, like let's move on to the next one. But no, when I say it about Arsenal, especially this season, well, especially in the last few weeks anyway, it's just it's something now that's the standard really, where it's like even they're not performing at the very best individually. I just feel as a team, as a collective, it's very, very much working. And okay, you may argue, or people may argue, that it's not the best brand of football in terms of excitement. But at the end of the day, as we've discussed before, maybe a couple of weeks ago, something like that, I've seen excitement and got us nowhere. So I'll take this all day, every day. I mean, it's the steadiness of it. It's the cool. It's the coolness from the collective that impresses me more than anything else, and that's why I'm sort of bypassing the performance. But yeah, it's by no means is it exciting football as such, like at all. I don't think. Very rare glimpses of it, really. So that's the way I look at it.
What worries me, I'm not worried. I think when I look at the games and I look at how teams win championships, and yes, there's an argument to say that defences win your championships and attacking football wins your games. I understand that, but I think historically, when you look back on Champions League or Premierships, the majority of the time it's kind of an attacking prowess that wins your leagues, wins your championships, wins your Champions Leagues, etc., etc. It's not the defence that always wins. It's probably a minority that does that. I think you could probably go back the last 20 years and say the teams with the best defensive record doesn't always go on and win the major titles. So I think my concern is that our luck will run out, if you know what I mean. Yes, collectively as a team we are playing really well, and that's all that matters at the moment, is winning games regardless. I think just as a whole, as when you're thinking about what when we come up against, say, PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid again, are they going to have too much? Are we going to be hanging on more? We saw a team tonight that had a few chances. They weren't great. Technically, they were pretty poor, weren't they, if you know what I mean? But against the better opposition, in Europe especially, you say Barca, Bayern, whoever, PSG, we'll probably get found out, and that's my only concern. Other than that, I'm completely happy there. We've sat currently top of the Champions League table. What more can you ask for? Top of the Premiership. So that can you see where I'm coming from or not?
Yeah. I think the way I would translate that in my head is that the real test, the two games that we have had played, that we would consider real tests in Man City and Liverpool, we lost one and we drew one. So you could always argue, the teams in between that, they haven't been at the level of those specific two. So yeah, it remains to be seen, of course, until we start playing these matches. Like we said, we got Chelsea, Tottenham, and Bayern Munich in after the international break, I think it is. So that's going to be a very real test. And again, when you compare it to what Emery did back in 2018 with the unbeaten run that we had, what was 2022, whatever it was, again, that none of those filled me up with confidence, by the way. None of those matches filled me with confidence that we were going to go win the next match.
True.
Whereas now, I don't have that doubt for 1 second. I think one thing that would sort of potentially defeat us is a team that's got an excellent midfield. Because if another team can control the midfield better than we can, I feel like that's going to be our weakness. That's where everything breaks down, because of the way that the defense and obviously the midfield in Rice and Zubamendi. That's how it's meant to sort of work when we're in that when we're being attacked. So yeah, I get it, but I think I've seen enough so far to sort of give me the confidence that we can go on and beat other bigger teams. But yeah, in terms of this season, we've only faced two of them, right? Liverpool. Don't get me wrong. When there was a point in the game, I think it might have been 2-0, and the cameras cut to Arteta, and I looked at them and I thought, 5-6 years ago, I would have been worried, but I was not worried one bit that we were going to lose that game. Even when we sort of potentially conceded that penalty, and even if it went to, it would have been 3-1, wouldn't it, if they'd scored? But I was not at all worried that we were going to lose that game or concede. That's how confident the team are at the moment, and that's how confident I feel.
I just think that obviously what I was trying to say is about obviously other teams that are potentially better going forward than us, that are probably going to cause us more trouble than the teams that we've played. I know we've had we played some decent teams to start with in the Premiership, but the argument for that was that sometimes it's better to get them out of the way early when the teams, we said it on an earlier pod, didn't we? It's better to get these teams out of the way.
And yeah, obviously, look, we did play big name teams from the beginning, but like in terms of form, it was always going to be City and Liverpool that were going to be the real test. Yeah, we played Man United first match of the season, but I was never thinking, oh my God, we're going to lose to Man United. So yeah, it definitely remains to be seen, and yeah, it's not a worry. I don't think it's a worry, and I don't think, and for you, I don't think it's a worry either. To be honest, it's more something just to keep an eye on and see how the team reacts to a potential loss. Which, in this stage of football where we are right now, it's almost inevitable that a loss will occur. From maybe just a team shutting us completely down after going one up. You never know, low blocks and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's something, like I said, something just to keep an eye on rather than be worried about it. But yeah, even looking at the bench, even looking at the options that did come on in the second half, again there was no real drop in quality. As far as I was watching, as much as I was watching, I didn't see any drop in quality. It felt like players just came in just to sort of straight fits for the players that were coming off. But yeah. So the 3-0. I mean, first goal, obviously a penalty. I know I messaged you. I said it was a bit soft, like in terms it was a bit like maybe I don't know how I feel about that, because if it went against us, I'd probably just be like, well, I sort of touched his head first, maybe should have had a better look. So I don't know, but at the end of the day, Saka stepped up, scored. Did you have any doubts that he was going to put that away on?
Yeah, I did have doubts. I'm not 100% convinced of his penalty ability. I mean, obviously, the reason why he scored is because he hit it hard enough, where the keeper went the right way. That's my worry. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. And yeah. No, listen. I mean, the penalty. Get back to the penalty incident. So obviously, you always look at the players' reactions, and obviously that no one appealed for it. So obviously what happened was, as when you look back on the replays, it does hit his hand. It was going towards goal. So yes, you can see why they give it. With the penalty, who else would have took it? I would have probably said Rice, but Saka's the captain. He does take the penalties, and he's got to he's got to put that away, and he did. So that's all he can ask for. He
does have a good record, like penalty record, to be fair to him. I know we sort of, there's other aspects of his game recently that we've been criticising, but I feel like, his spot kicks are pretty good. Obviously under too much pressure, as we've seen before, but then again, you could always make the argument that he was younger then and blah blah blah. But yeah, look, I feel confident when Saka does step up to take a penalty. Like, I don't have a problem with his penalty taken, and even in this match, I don't, he played well, like better than we've seen so far anyway. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it was his best game, but yeah, I thought he played better than we've seen so far. Like, he was more involved with the team. He was helping the team out more, rather than doing what we've been talking about. But I'm guessing you will have something. We'll get to the player ratings. We'll fly through the player ratings very shortly. But yeah, just so yeah, penalty steps up 1-0, and even if it sort of stayed at 1-0, whilst it was at 1-0, sorry, I had no doubt that we were going to just win that game. Whether it was just defending and just keeping them at arm's length at 1-0 and running that fine line, I still think we would have done it no problem. But I'm glad that the team didn't sort of rest on their laurels and went out there and actually got the two other goals. But yeah, so first half, that was pretty much it. Like you said, they started off. Slavia Prague started off quite nicely for about 10 minutes. So again, nothing to be too concerned about whilst they were playing. It's just like, okay, guys, don't get too complacent, because I know there's been changes in the team, in the lineup. So just don't get too complacent and think, oh, I thought you had him. Do you know what I mean? That's always what I'm afraid of when like other players come in for the first 11. It's always like, oh, I thought you were going to have him. You know what I mean? It's always that. I feel like there's always that confusion, but there wasn't. Just nothing really to it. In second half, straight away, your favorite man, your favorite player in the entire world. He
nonchalantly, took his role really well.
Yeah, does the striker thing.
Do you know, he does, as much as, you know, I don't rate him as a midfielder. I do think he has something to offer up front as just more of an awkward type of player. He's tall, he's really good in the air, and you know, he's quite, I don't know, it's something about the way he plays, you know what I mean? He kind of passed that ball in the net. It was great. It was a nice little finish, to be fair. It just could have been a layoff to anyone in midfield or pass it back, but because he scored, it just looked so nonchalant, didn't it? The way he actually graced it into the net. Nice work by Trossard, and yeah, he was there, you know, Johnny on the spot, so to speak.
Yeah. But he does that though, you know. We're not really surprised, but at the same time, we're sort of amazed. Do you know what I mean? We're not surprised, but we're amazed. Like, damn, this guy again. Like, I love it. I love seeing that happen because, you know, you chat shit about him and then he goes and scores the next match. I think that should be a thing. You should just keep that going, Stevie. You know, every time there's a match on, right? You just talk shit about Marino. He'll come on, he'll score a goal, and I'll take that trade all day. Yeah,
it's nice because I don't even think the York would have scored that. I know, you know, it's all right in hindsight saying you never know, but would the York have graced it in like that? I don't know. I don't think the York's got that graceful touch. I think Havertz potentially could have, because I think Havertz has got a very, very good deft touch. Same with Marino. So yeah, it just worked out perfect. Let's hope he does it on Saturday.
Yeah, and you're right.
By the looks of it, the big York's out.
Yeah, it doesnit doesn't fill me with confidence, does it? You know, or any of us really, that he's going to play. But let's hope, you know, something happens. Look, it is Sunderland. They have been on a good run, but at the end of the day, you know, like we said about Burnley,
and like you say, we don't score many from open. We don't score many from open play. So are we going to miss the York? Yes, we probably will miss his runs in and around, like going past players down the channels or such. But will we miss him that much? As long as the nucleus of the team's there, obviously Zubimendi will be back, Rice will be there, okay, and Eze, Saka, obviously, and Trossard and Marino up front, you know, we should be okay, but you never know, do you? You'd like to think that Gyökeres pulls players all over, and that's why the other players do get the space. So that's my only concern, but we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, look, you saw it against Slavia Prague tonight, really, that, you know, we didn't have a focal point as such, but the team worked, and I think that's the good thing about the squad, is that they are working as a team, and that's why I said earlier, you know, I don't feel like it's a bad performance. I feel like it's a good squad performance, but with no real individuality to it. You know, there wasn't much to it. I mean, yeah, Moneri had a couple of nice little moves and so on, a couple of passes to Saka, but nothing too impressive. You know, nothing, like I said, individually, but as a team, it worked. Everything worked, and it has been working. And I feel like as long as, like you said as well, as long as the nucleus is there, like in the Rice, Eze, Saka, even Marino to a certain extent, Zubimendi hopefully will come back as well. And is he suspended? He's not suspended for Sunderland, is he?
Who's that? Zubimendi?
Zubimendi, no, he'll be playing against Sunderland.
He'll be playing, yeah.
So I feel like we have enough quality to maintain and even score the goals, because, you know, Trossard's been on a nice run of assists and the way that he finds himself in the space, I trust him enough to cross the ball in, as he has done, and, you know, he's got a couple of assists from it. Today with Marino, last week, on the weekend with Gyökeres. So yeah, I'm enjoying Trossard at the moment. I know we sort of spoke a little bit harshly about him at the beginning of the season, but, you know, he does the job for us. That's it. And
he's doing okay.
Yeah, and maybe the next match against Sunderland, maybe that's the last game that he'll play good for us for 3-4 matches. And do you know what? I'll be happy with that, because we have got players to replace. You know, and even we saw tonight at the very at a very pinch, you can even move Saka to the left and put Damon on the right. You know, like as we saw tonight. So again, there's enough replacements to not make me worried going forward.
Okay.
Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, very happy with Marino, by the way. So And third goal, again, who is it but your boy? Again, just, you're talking about deft touches, right? That was, you know, the back of your head, the crown of the back of your head, right? That's literally what he hit that ball with. Just did a little neck tilt. And that was it. That was a goal. It was fantastic. It really was.
You seen him smile, didn't you, when he'd nodded it and he knew it was in. He smiled to himself. Yeah, it was good. I mean, keeper was a bit poor, but he had to be there. He did it. You know, who else would do it? But Jock probably wouldn't have scored again. This is the thing.
That's it. I get your point. I really do get your point. I mean, with the Jock, he is a bit more like a tank. He'll just sort of like a missile go in there. Whereas, like, you're right, with Marino, he's more of a ghost, isn't he? He's got the ghost touches.
He's graceful. He's elegant.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a battering ram like
you
the
call
Jock.
him cement boots. So I don't know how cement is
because
graceful.
he can't lift his legs off the floor. They're full of cement. He's graceful. He sort of skates across the floor, doesn't he?
Oh my god, he ice skates in his cement boots. I love it. That's going to be the title of the episode.
Ice skating Marino. No, it's you know, like you say, I don't care. You know, he's not my favourite player, and he's, you know, I want to bring up some topics, maybe not this week, maybe next week or something, but we will talk about that off air. But yeah, he's not my favourite player, but he does the job, and that's all that matters. It's all that matters, mate.
That's it, and that's why I keep saying, you know, as a team, the job's getting done. So I have absolutely no complaints, and same thing in this match. What I will bring up though is the
referee.
The ref and the violence, by the way, from Slavia Prague.
They were horrible.
I mean, against Dauman especially, when Dauman came on, I'm pretty sure he was on the floor more than he had the ball. And
he was.
That wasn't due to him. That was due to the fucking defenders just always there niggling at his legs. So I didn't care for that. And look, were you really surprised that they were going to be a bit, you know, sort of aggressive?
Do you know what? I always find these Eastern European type football teams, they're technically not that great, so they've got a lot of energy, but because they're a bit like a championship team level, I think, where they're a bit late in the tackles and the timing and things like that. It's not their fault, but they just seem to be, they were just dirty all over the pitch. Late tackles, barging elbows, hands, everywhere, weren't they? I mean, you know, I was just thinking, I was praying to God that there's been no injuries. I hope there isn't, because you could just imagine something like that. That's why I was saying, why are you leaving Declan Rice on? Get him off, man, with 3-0. Just get him off.
Yeah. I think it took a little bit longer to take Declan Rice off than I had to have him on, to be honest. But, and again, the fact that he was on a yellow card, or one more yellow, he would have been suspended for the Bayern match. I couldn't. Yes. I just could not. I couldn't, you know, fathom the fact that, you know, he may not play against Bayern. I don't like it, and that would be big part of.
Speaking of Bayern, they're 1-0 up against PSG.
Diaz, I think it was. Diaz scored.
Diaz, 4 minutes, yeah.
So that's pretty good. I don't think PSG are going to do much this season, to be fair. But anyway,
they're favourites then. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they are the reigning champions, so I would imagine they'd be favourites. But but yeah, so yeah, they're very, very aggressive players. It kind of reminded me of like a more violent version of Newcastle, and the reason, like you said, the reason they do that is because they're not technical, and because once they do that, if they do that once or twice, the players, like, you know, the opposing team, they could be like, well, I'm not going to go in for this ball now, you know, because they're going to take my legs off. So there you go. You know, it adds a bit of fear. But the good thing is with our team that we have shown absolute fearlessness. Like, just we don't care. We are going into tackles. We are getting tackled, and you know what I mean. We are a lot stronger than we have been for a very long time. You know, when we had the Ozils and stuff like that, Ozil was like a feather, man. You know, you push him off the ball, it's just like, that's it. Now it's very difficult to do that. Or the players that do go down, they do that because, you know, tactically. Like Dauman today, he knew exactly what he was doing. After the first couple of minutes when he was on, he was like, oh shit, I'm just going to get fouled. All right, cool. Makes my job easier. Yeah. You know, the soft enough... they are fouls, they are physical, you know, sort of touches, so they will definitely hurt to a certain extent, but they weren't, you know, the way that he positioned himself and the body between him and the sort of defender, he sort of took that on, didn't he? He knew that, oh, okay, this is where he's going to hit me.
He knew they were coming.
Exactly, he was rolling with it, to be fair. So is that another goal alert? Who scored here? Martins for who? I don't even know. Sporting, I think. So yeah, I think overall, you know, I think the team did very well. Even the young lad, when he came on, he had some nice movements. He wasn't
Harriman.
long enough. Yeah, Harriman and Noose.
He was all right, wasn't he?
Yeah, he made some decent runs. You know, sort of. What am I trying to say? He was pressing the goalkeeper quite a lot, which I do like. But then again,
He had some decent touches.
yeah. So it's still a long way for him to go for him. Yeah, but yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far. He's very keen to get in there. Anyone else that you want to sort of pick on, or anything else that sort of?
No, we'll just do the player ratings. But no, I wanted to say that apparently there's a 122-year record being broken tonight. Did you see that? So it's the first time in 122 years, well, obviously since the records began as such, that we have kept 9 clean sheets in a row.
That is tremendous, by the way. Like, is that across all competitions, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you...
Well, it would be,
so basically, yeah, so 17 scored, 0 defeats, 8 wins, 8 clean sheets, 0 conceded, 8 played, yeah. I mean, in 122 years... Wow. I mean, yes, we did 11 wins, didn't we? But we conceded in those 11 games. But wow, that is some feat. That
is incredible, and I think it showed right at the end as well with Gabriel, especially in the Burnley match, and even in this match as well. No, sorry, was it Gabriel right at the end? Who was? It was Gabriel, wasn't it? Who got pushed?
It's free kick. Yeah.
Was it Nkapia?
Right at the end, he got pushed over.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it was Gabriel, and then obviously the Nkapia incident as well, where I messaged you. I was like, Nkapia just doesn't give a flying fuck.
He got a hand in the face, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like, I don't care how big you are, mate. He just went straight for his throat, like, you know, metaphorically, obviously. You know, he would have been
Brian, you say, Ecuadorian.
So yeah, I think you know, physicality of the team is really impressive, and I'm glad. I'm really glad that Arteta's put this team together, because they are looking out for each other. You know, they're sticking up for each other. Whenever something happens, especially last weekend, like we talked about, everyone was around. Nkapia went straight there, didn't he? He was like, "Fuck you! What the fuck are you doing?" He's like a bulldog. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. But all right, we'll jump onto some quick player ratings, and we'll leave it there for the night. So right, where do you want to start, Stephen?
Yeah, Raya.
All right, look, until a team scores, let's not talk about Raya. Right?
I just want to quickly note that, we haven't conceded, but I just was a bit concerned with some of his kick-outs. I mean, I know they pressed really well, but I just think that shouldn't be allowed in the modern, especially for a team top of the league. He shouldn't be allowed to be chased down and potentially give away a goal. It shouldn't be allowed. Just get rid of it earlier. This is what's starting to frustrate me. You know, I know we haven't conceded, but we could have. I know we haven't. We could have blah, 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 blah. But just fucking get rid of it.
It does, seriously. It does make you want to sit on the edge of your seat, doesn't it? It's like, oh, really? Yeah. Really, Raya? Come on,
you're moving your eye. You think, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, don't do it like that, please. Oh, not like this. But
no.
Yeah, I think what probably that comes down to is the fact that this guy hasn't been needed for 8 matches or 9 matches. He's forgetting, really, isn't he? He's forgetting that he is a goalkeeper, and he will need to actually, you know, do some good kickouts. But
it'll catch us out. It'll catch us out. But you mark my words, this will catch us out throughout, and it'll be the first goal we concede, just down to him being fucking about with it. Honestly, dickhead. Where's the keeper anyway? Why was he on the bench?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I was expecting to see him, to be honest. Was he not on the bench? Was he not on the bench?
No, Setford.
Wow. Okay, that's a bit weird. Oh, it's Kepa being Kepa again, and just being a tit. Oh my god, what a wanker. I hope that's all it is. Sorry, I hope it's an injury.
You mean you hope he was ill or something?
Yeah, I really hope. Yeah, there was some bereavement in the.
Well, not a bereavement. Come on.
No, sorry.
Get shut down for that.
My bad. Right. Okay. So yeah, Raya. They've given him a 6.7 here on Flash Scores.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Fine. Whatever. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Back line. They've all pretty much got 7.5 average, apart from Saliba, who got a 6.7. Do we know why? Do we know why Saliba got a 6.7?
I thought he just did his usual 7s. Saliba, he was nothing.
I've got some.
Did he give
it?
Yeah, he gave the ball away, didn't he? I think that's what it was, and then he got caught out of possession. But I think it was potentially the ball that he received initially that made him lose possession. I don't know. Yeah, I know he gave a bit of foul away, but he had a ripped shirt and stuff. But other than that, I thought it was alright. Go on.
He was involved in 8 duels, 3 aerials, won 1 of 3, and 5 ground duels, and won 1 of 5. So
really,
and fouls committed 2. He had 2 interceptions and 4 clearances according to Flash Scores. 75%. I think. Do you know what? Just looking at them stats, it seems pretty poor. But when you the eye test, it's like, okay, that was that one mistake where, like you said, it could have been costly, but. I feel like he just did his normal job and did it well. I guess there was no real there was no real concern. But yeah, so I feel like average 7.5 across all sounds. Does that sound about right to you? Like, is it okay?
Did all right? Yeah.
Who stood out? I was going to say, who stood out from the back line?
I think Gabriel stood out. I do think obviously him and Rice played. I think they just continue where they left off against Burnley. To be fair, no nonsense, and it was like, Jesus Christ, it's not a final, just calm down. But they were playing as though it was a final, and I was wanting them to sort of just relax a bit, because I thought they're either going to get injured, yellow card, sent off, or what. And yeah, I thought Gabriel was probably the best defender out of the 4.
That's fair.
Just from the eye test,
That's fair. I feel like maybe for me, I was more impressed with Nkapia, to be honest. In that role, I like what I saw.
Good player, isn't he?
Yeah, and I get what you were saying as well, and why you were hyping him up. To be honest, I understand now. I think I understood from the Burnley game when he ran over to protect. Was it Harman Anus? I think it was. I can't remember who it was who got taken down. Anyway, in the byline. But the way that he ran over, and I was like, right, okay, this guy is already slotted in to be one of us. So happy days. That's all I care for. A team player. But yeah, for me, maybe Nkapia a little bit better than the rest, but not by a margin. Maybe a 0.1, 0.05.
Yes.
Yes. Midfield, Declan Rice. We'll start with him because it just basically copy paste from Burnley match.
Absolutely.
With Declan Rice. I don't want to repeat ourselves, but once again, just a machine, man. Absolute machine.
Yeah.
He is definitely the engine for us. He is the heart of our team when he's like this, when he's sort of firing on all cylinders, to use the engine analogy. He is definitely the one for us, like to move us forward. And I feel safe with him. Oh, hold on, potential penalty for Liverpool? No, free kick.
No, it will be if it's at Liverpool.
No, just outside the box.
It will be. Hey?
Just outside the box. So, but yeah, for me, Declan Rice potentially one of the man of the match contenders. I don't know if you agree or not, but they've given him a 7.8. I think probably an 8 for Rice. Just the way that he was everywhere. I'm happy with an 8.
Yeah, I think like you say, copy and paste from the Burnley game. I thought he was outstanding again. But again, obviously, I've just got to have it with a bit of trepidation. I just hope he doesn't peak at Christmas time. I want him to peak in March, April time when that pushes and we need him. I don't want him to run out of steam. I know he's got a great engine, but we saw last season he just looked like on his last legs. I'm just hoping that Arteta manages him. Takes him off with, half an hour to go in the game's won, as opposed to leaving him on for the full 90 and risking a burnout, risking injury, yellow card, etc., etc. So, yeah, fantastic performance again. But again, I just hope he gets managed. Just don't want him to have burnout. We're only 10 games in. Look at all the games we've got to play. We're in all these competitions, and if he's going to be off, the focal point of the team, him and Gabriel, I don't want to tempt fate, but you know what I'm saying.
But what makes it worse is that not only is he the focal point for our Arsenal team, he's also the focal point of the England team as well. And don't forget, by next year it's World Cup year, so guaranteed Declan Rice is going to play in all of the England matches. So I think that you're right. I think he needs to be well managed, and wherever you can afford to rest him, I think he should be rested. We have enough in our team. We have enough in our team for him to sort of no, I don't want to say not be missed, because he's always missed when he's not playing, because we don't have that same fluidity in midfield. But we have enough to get us through the next opponent. You know, like, I don't know, like a Wolves, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like, or a fucking Southampton or some shit. Well, not Southampton. Who am I trying to say? Who's down there? Not Sunderland, because Sunderland are actually doing alright. Who's down there, Stevie? Tell me who's down there. Is it West Ham?
West Ham,
Wolves.
There you go. Wolves, yeah.
So yeah, with teams like that, yeah, you could probably afford to rest him, or at the very worst case scenario, you bring him on for the last 15, 20 minutes. So yeah, I think that's probably, you know, well managed. Well done. It's not a penalty. It's a penalty. Shit, I think he's given it. He's given it to Liverpool. Fuck him. No, sorry, no penalty. Okay, that's fine. So, fuck Liverpool as well. But yeah, so well managed. Hopefully that's something that Arteta's thinking about. You know, for the future. Norgard, what do you think?
He was okay. I don't think he did. He didn't have a great game. He got yellow carded, but I know obviously he's not probably match fit, match sharp.
Yeah.
I do like him as a player, but again, I think he could just potentially be like a backup for when, like, your likes of Zubimendi and Rice need a rest. But you've got to get him up to speed, and you know, you've got to play him, especially when we've got suspensions and injuries. So yeah, he did all right. I wasn't blown away by him, but he again, it's a team effort, isn't it? Like you say, and you know, probably, you know, 6.7, 6.8. I don't think he was a 7. He wasn't great. He didn't do anything outstanding. Sometimes I didn't think was he actually playing. But yeah, he did all right, didn't he?
Yeah. 6.8, I agree with you on that
steady
one.
Away, yeah.
Yeah, steady. I think the yellow card, though, the yellow card was a bit harsh.
Yes, it was.
Because let's face it, he got absolutely sandwiched between two Slavia Prague players. So
and he got the ball.
Yeah, and he got the ball, exactly. And when he stood up, he was shocked, visibly shocked. Yeah. Like, are you actually kidding me? But again, I just
will they get that overturned then or not? Will, if they appeal it, there's probably no need, to be fair.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe don't do that.
If it was Rice, you would have, wouldn't you? Because obviously he'd be missing. Yeah,
of course. I think that would definitely affect the next game. But yeah, in this case, it was a bit harsh. But I'm not going to take any points away from him for that yellow card, because again, it just wasn't his fault. But yeah, 6.8 sounds about right, because nothing too exciting. But as part of the team, yeah, I'm not going to say it was like the weakest part of the team or anything like that, or anything as such. But you know, we know what type of player he is and what type of role that he's there to fill. So,
did I give Rice a score, by the way?
I said 8. I don't think you give him one.
Bayern Munich 2-0. Wow.
Diaz again.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've had a goal disallowed. PSG as well.
What a buy!
Wow.
What a buy!
Yeah, that's what Liverpool are missing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, someone like that, fantastic player.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So yeah, what score are you giving Rice?
So yeah, I would probably give it, like you say. I think I'll mirror what you said. I think he is definitely an 8 for me.
That's fair. Man of the match contender, or man of the match for you?
Contender, yeah.
Okay,
contender, yeah.
We'll sort that out at the end, yeah. So next one up is Nwaneri. They've given him a 6.6.
I didn't think he did anything special. I think he was again pretty average. Didn't get much of the ball. I don't think he did see much of the ball. I think it was, you know, mainly the wing players that had most influence on the game. I think it bypassed him the game. I think he had some nice, neat touches. Don't get me wrong. There was a few times I thought, yeah, he's controlled that, where anyone else, you know, that Messi-esque type of close control, of neat passing. But other than that, he didn't influence it very well. So I'm not convinced, but again, it's a team job, isn't it? Like, you know, we've got to be in it all collectively as a team, and he did what he had to do, you know, which was just keep knit the passing together as such, from midfield to the wings as such, but nothing flash, because again, he didn't have Gyökeres in front of him. He had Marino that, you know.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because when the team wins, we sort of, you know, we always say that it's a team game and collective play very well. But then obviously, as soon as the team loses, then we start looking at player ratings and going, I don't know about this guy. It's just the way. It's just the nature of how it works, really. You know, there's nothing we can do about that. It's just life. So yeah, you're right. You're right with Nwaneri. It's, you know, watching him, he's kind of silky. He will have very close control, and I feel like most times he won't lose the ball. But Yeah, it's not like the game sort of went past him in much of it, to be honest. It sort of bypassed him. And probably if I had to choose like the weakest link in the team, which again, I don't mean the weakest because we lost or anything, probably Nwaneri was probably the guy. Even though I'm happy seeing him play and seeing him move with the ball and something like that. But yeah, he just needs to step up a little bit more. He's still young, fair enough, whatever. But if we're expecting a lot from Max Dowman, then, we should be expecting a lot more from Nwaneri as well, right? Because of the age difference. So
100%. Yeah, agree. I think the problem you've got is obviously it was a hard game for him probably to play because they were very dirty, very late in the tackles. So he probably didn't get as much time that he'd have liked because of the worry of probably getting injured, really, because how clumsy they were. So would Odegaard have done any different in that position? Probably not. I think he would have played exactly the same kind of role, and we would have been saying the same thing if it was Odegaard. Potentially, who knows?
The one thing I will say with Odegaard that his football intelligence is very good, and
yes,
maybe
that comes with age, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's exactly where I was going to lead to be honest. Yeah, he is still young, so there's no way. I'm gonna take anything away from Nwaneri. Very good talent, and I'm glad that he's getting his game time, especially in the Champions League as well. So I'm really happy with that. And it's only experience. That's what he's learning. He's learning experience, and hopefully in the next couple of years we can see him at the very, very top level and just dictating games. But they're giving him a 6.8.
6.5, 6.6.
Yeah, I'll go for a 6.5. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then we move on to your favourite player, Bukayo Saka. No, sorry, that's your second favourite player. Your favourite player is Marino. We've got him soon. But Bukayo Saka, right? They've given him an 8.2, goal scored, obviously penalty.
They've given Saka an 8.2.
Yeah. And they've given Rice a 7.8. But obviously Saka scored, so that's an automatic 7. But how much further do you want to go from there?
No, again, look. This is no slant on a. I'm laughing at you. Listen, I can't change my opinion on Saka at the moment.
What are you trying to do?
Because again, listen, I must have counted 3 or 4 times that he had a shot trying to get through 20 players instead of laying it off to someone in a better position, and that to me smacks of someone either desperate to prove how good he is, or just someone who just doesn't have a brain. Now, look, I know what you're saying. Look, I know what you're going to say, and I agree. He had a better game than he did against Burnley. But
yes,
he still didn't do anything other than score a penalty that I thought, wow, this guy's back. He's world class again. Or he is world class because he never was. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's not doing anything special, is he? Trossard set a beautiful goal up. Why didn't Saka do that?
Yeah.
Why can't he do that? He didn't take anyone on. He didn't take anyone on, did he?
Let's have a look at
He took one on. Was it one?
Dribbles. 1 second, please. Passes. He was decent in passes, 78%. And attack. So 8 touches in the opposition box. Successful dribbles. Are you ready? 1 of 4. So 1 of 4 successful dribbles, and obviously 1 foul suffered. So yeah, look. The stats will tell their story, and I feel like what impressed me more with Saka this game was just, again, even looking at the stats of how many times he was able to be in a shooting position, which was, it was quite high up. His XG was, he was a penalty at the end of the day, so fucking hell, he had to score that. Really, so I just feel like with Saka this game, he just seemed to be a bit more on that what I said before, that sort of that mature side of Saka. That's what it felt like in this match. But yeah, there is obviously parts of his game where the dribbling, the constant dribbling, and sometimes excessive dribbling is not working for him. So yeah, this is where we have the problem, and again, and this is the main issue is that he's not sort of thinking ahead of where the pass or where the shot's going to go. You know, he's sort of head down, and then at the sort of last minute, he'll make a decision. Most of the times this season has been the wrong decision, and that's where the sort of the criticism comes in. But everything else that he did tonight was pretty good. You know, he is dangerous. He's a dangerous player when he's running at defenders. But what we want him to convert that. Do you know
I
what
don't
mean?
see
it's not good
when,
enough to be dangerous and run at defenders. You need to score the fucking goal or make the assist.
I think Max Dowman's actually more dangerous when he's running at players. I don't think, and there's never a time when I think Saka's in complete control of the ball when he's running with it, like a Salah, like a Madueke. You know, Nwaneri and Dowman potentially have better close control than Saka, and this shouldn't be the case for someone as an England international. He needs to prove to people that he can get down the bar line, get the crosses in, or come back inside and pretend to cross, but have an end product. You know, all he seems to be doing is coming back inside on his left and shooting from, 40 yards. And I'm thinking, okay, yes, sometimes it comes off. 1 in 10 he'll score a wonder goal, and everyone will be like, oh, amazing. But you can't live on those 1 in 10 games where you'll score a wonder goal. You've got to have something else to your game. And yes, I do understand where people come from, and he is one of our most threatening players when he's on his game, but that's not as often as what I'd like as a fan. I want him to be more dangerous, and that's just my personal opinion.
No,
you know what I mean? I don't,
And I think what annoys me is that obviously he's held to this high regard, which is fine, because again we've liked him and we've enjoyed watching him, sort of make it through the ranks, if you will. But at the end of the day, right, you have to be very realistic with ourselves that Saka hasn't really done much in terms of silverware. The level that he's held up to, it's like, it's almost Henry levels, and it shouldn't be like that at all. Just because he came from the academy, all right, that's fantastic, but shit. I want him to win something. Like, I can't celebrate a trophy of, Saka came from our academy, so he's our star boy. There is no star boy trophy. Do you know what I mean? We need him to be the player that we want him to be, that we've wanted him to be for a very long time. And the player that we're projecting onto everyone else, oh, he's our star boy. Oh, he's Saka, he's the guy to do it. Okay, that's great. But again, just because all of a sudden in the last 3-4 years, everyone started counting goals and assists as goal contributions, that doesn't mean that, Saka's got 25 goal contributions in 14 matches. Yeah, but he's got 3 goals, right? To me, he's got 3 goals. Right. Yes. Okay. That may be a bit shit example with the numbers and stuff, but my point is that his output needs to be more than that. I don't really care too much about assists because of the way that he's held up. He's not held up as this assist king. He's held up as the star boy. So therefore, that means scoring goals as well. So that's what I need to see from him. That's what I need to see from Saka, right? And again, people will always, the thing is, like I said, people will always jump at our throats because of the reason that I've just said, he came from the academy. How dare you speak ill of him? Like, fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? But we don't speak ill about anyone else. We don't speak shit about any other player. All we've done is praise Zubimendi every single match. Calafiori's the same. Trossard, we changed our mind about Trossard because he changed as a player from the beginning till now. And
Martinelli did, yeah.
Martinelli's exactly the same. Okay, we don't see him as much, but every time he's coming on, he's scoring a goal or actually being direct, assisting or whatever it is. So he's contributing every time he's coming on. And again, with Saka, yes, he's starting, but this is your time now. This is your fucking time. You're wearing the captain's armband. Yeah. Everyone's looking at you. Let's fucking do it. I need more output.
Yeah, absolutely.
And penalties, unfortunately, they're obviously they're good for the stats, for the goal stats, but just need more. So they're giving him an 8.2. I'm going to go with a 7.8 because again, he scored.
I'm not even going that high.
That's fair. Tell me your score.
I thought you were just saying you're going to give it 7.8, and that was just, I thought you were just going to say something else after that, but no, I think it's 7.1 for me. I think 7 because he was average, and the 0.1 for the penalty because
that's fair. So I guess,
listen, just before we move on, just a big shout out to Zoran Jurovsky. and Thomas Clark, who have subscribed to our channel.
Oh, excellent. Hello and welcome, people. Hopefully you see some sense. But yeah, so we'll carry that on. Hopefully more people will join the bandwagon. But right, so Trossard, they've given him a 7.7.
So he's got less than Saka, which I find very, very strange.
It's the goal that sort of skews it in Saka's favour. But again, it's a penalty.
But as a whole, as a contribution to the match, Trossard was far superior in my opinion. 7.5 as opposed to 7.1. He set. I thought he was our most dangerous sort of attacker, really. I mean, he obviously set Marino up for the second goal. He was always a threat. I thought he was always looking to get forward. He was always chasing balls down. I don't see why they haven't rated him, to be fair. But he probably give the ball away a couple of times, but he does get pushed off because he's very slight, isn't he? He's not really a robust player. He's similar to the sort of Odegaard, probably worse. He's probably the child of the team, really. When you look at his sort of his whole body and everything, he just gets knocked off the ball quite easily. But I thought he had a good continuation from the Burnley game. I thought it was a nice game for him. He did really well, personally, but I don't know what the stats say with regard to that, but you're going to tell me.
So Trossard, again, he had a lively game for sure, and again, according to the stats, Saka was a little bit ahead, and I think it was more the total shots on goal, which I think Saka had 6 to Marino, to Trossard, whatever it was. I've just lost it now. So whatever that was. Right, give me one second. Oh God, where's it gone now? Jesus Christ. Right. So
Saka actually had 6 shots, did he?
6 shots on target.
How many on target?
Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, total shots. So 6 total shots, 5 on target, 1 off. So which was a blocked shot. So again, that's why I say he definitely had a better game, and I was quite close to giving him an 8, to be honest. But if I give him an 8, then it'll be like, well, you're only giving him an 8 because to pander to the crowd. But I'm not doing it. But I genuinely felt like 7.8 for Saka. I think that is fair. The penalty, obviously, like I said, it is a penalty, but he fucking finished it. So Trossard, what did he have? He had 3 shots on. 3 shots altogether, 1 on target, 1 off target, but obviously he had the assist. So for me, I like you again in terms of the eye test. I feel like Saka was a little bit better in terms of the eye test. But because of the assist and Trossard and the way that he has been playing, sort of consistently he has been playing in the last few games, I can see him being a man of the match contender as well, to be fair. But right, so moving on, we've got our favourite guy,
Big Mick,
yeah, Cement Boots, as
Big Cement, known. Yes,
Big Cement. Isn't that a company?
Do you know, I liked his game today, and
same.
I did like everything that he did today. I was really, really impressed. One of his best games for us, should I say. Shame he didn't get a hat-trick. I would have liked to have seen him get a hat-trick. Would have been right, 2 things up to me. But yeah, I thought he did okay. I mean, obviously his touches in midfield when he was trying to lay balls off and such like that, they weren't the greatest, I'm going to be honest. But to score 2 goals away from home in the Champions League, my man of the match.
Yeah. Same. By the way, it was between him and Rice for me always, and I think Marino definitely deserved it. Again, when you look at the stats, not really that impressive, but the fact that he got 2 goals and he found himself in the positions that he did, and again, as part of the collective, he was very, very good. So yeah, definitely deserved the man of the match for me as well. And look, he does what he does, man. Like, you can't really ask anything else from him. You want him to be an auxiliary striker, he'll fucking do that. You want him to be a midfielder, he'll do that as well, and do the striking role at the same time. Yeah. So there's an argument, like, this is a bit controversial, but there's an argument that he's actually better than Havertz.
Do you know, if we're looking at a replacement for Gyökeres, right? If you were thinking, look, I've got Havertz lump of shite on the bench at 280, 90 grand a week or whatever he's on, and I've got Marino on 100 grand a week, sell Havertz and get a replacement for someone else in another position. because he's probably doing as good a job as what Havertz would do. Do you know what I mean? And Havertz is the striker on all this money.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in front of goal, Marino just seems a bit more cooler, a bit more composed in front of goal. It seems like he eyes closed, he knows exactly where the net's going to be, where the goal's going to be.
Because he's not a good midfielder, personally.
No.
He's actually better as a striker than he is a midfielder. So if we've got Havertz for that backup striker for Gyökeres or whatever, it's a no-brainer. Get rid of Havertz.
Yeah, I mean, get rid of, obviously keep him in the team, but get rid of him from being up front. But
sell him. Keep. I would rather keep Jesus than Havertz, because I think Jesus offers a bit more. He's a bit of a trickier player. He can score goals from any angle, whatever. I really do rate Jesus. If shame he's injured, and he is injury prone, but I would sell Havertz and free up the money personally. That's my own opinion. Because, like I say, it's purely on the fact is that Marino's a shit midfielder, but a better striker.
That is absolutely fair, and I think that's probably going to be another one that's going to get clipped up, to be honest, just to see what people say out there.
I'll say it again if you want.
No, that's fine. I'll just rewind it. It's fine. But I think no, I don't agree with you with Havertz. I think Havertz is a very good player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him come back and slot into this team. Hopefully, he slots into the team. But so I know you don't agree with it. That's fine. But I do think
he's. No, you're right. Do you know, when he played for Chelsea, I used to think, oh God, Havertz is a really good player. But for our style and for the way he falls over and pretends he's injured and doesn't, he tries to con the ref and things like that. He's not. He's just someone that I just don't respect as a footballer. He's on that much money a week, and I don't know. I don't know. I'd much rather have Marino. I'd rather keep Marino and play Marino as an auxiliary sort of centre forward than Havertz, and keep Jesus and get rid of Havertz personally. But that's me. That's my personal opinion.
I mean, you're saying get rid, but it's not even part of the conversation, to be honest, for to get rid of any of them. So luckily for us, no one needs to make that decision right now. But I can't. Unfortunately, I can't agree with that, because how much I like Havertz, and like I said, I really look forward to seeing him back. But
who would you rather have up front, Marino or Havertz?
I'd rather have Marino up front.
There you go.
But that doesn't mean I want to get rid of Havertz.
But where would Havertz play?
Midfield, probably.
Who?
For Marino's position. You switch him around, obviously.
Exactly.
That is obviously the answer.
Yeah, but Marino doesn't get his game when
that's
Odegaard, Rice, and Zubimendi are playing. And when Eze comes, I'm talking sense. Get rid of Havertz. It's the only way.
I think. Okay, look. Obviously, because Havertz hasn't been playing, we don't really know where potentially he could slot in. But until that happens, then by all means, we can always have that discussion once Havertz is back. And if we see him or don't see him, then obviously, we can chat about that. But
do you think, just quickly, I know we're going to try and wrap it up now, but do you just think he's been out quite a while now, hasn't he? Probably a bit too long for my liking. Do you think they're going to sell him in January?
No, I don't think January. I don't think so. In this season especially, it'll be foolish to sell anyone from our team right now. It would be foolish.
Would you take a daft punt on Ivan Toney?
No.
Okay.
No.
I like your answers. No.
Very short and very to the point. I don't need to explain myself really why I don't want Ivan Toney in our squad. Screw that guy. He had his chance. Yeah, he fucked off. So, but no, I definitely I wouldn't. And like I said, it'll be very stupid for any of our players to be sold in January, especially. So,
if you could replace them though, if you could get rid of Havertz, right? What player would you bring in? Would you bring another centre forward if someone became available? And someone said, "Look, I'll have Havertz. I'll take Havertz off your hands. I'll take Jesus off your hands."
I'd probably go for a left winger, to be honest. Like a better
Semenyo.
Yeah. Yes. That is the shit I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Bring Semenyo in. That I would 100% do. Yeah, I would do that. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's my answer to it. Semenyo, please do join us. Right, we will leave it there, Stevie, because we did say we're going to be short, but it's still an hour as we always do. And yeah, and we're gonna be back on Sunday as well. So
Yes.
well, Monday.
Quick prediction for Saturday.
Right, prediction for Saturday. Where are we? Are we away to Sunderland? Stadium of Lights.
Did you watch the game last night? I watched them last night, actually.
I did not. Did I do well?
I watched, and they were.
Did I lose?
Do you know what? If we can play half as good as what we did tonight, we'll beat them, because Everton are nowhere near as good as us, and they tried to play like us, but they didn't. I think Grealish is a great player for them. Very, very good player. Now, we should have took a punt at him, but anyway, that's a different story. But no, I think if we play to our potential, we should beat them. I am going to try and get a ticket, because I found a ticket for £100, £102 actually. No, I was saying they were £300, but I found a ticket for, well, in the Arsenal end they're 156, in the Sunderland end they're 102. But obviously I'm going to try and get a box as well, so I'm not going to buy one yet, because I might be able to get in for nothing. Prediction.
That sounds fun. I'm envious, really. So predictions. Honestly, I think we're going to win. Unfortunately, I do think we're going to concede. I'm thinking maybe like a 3-1 or something like that, or a 2-1. I'm going to go 3-1.
Do you think it's going to happen?
Yeah, I think so. And again, there's nothing against the team or anything like that. I just feel, this could be the match away to Sunderland. They have been playing well. They could probably get a very early goal and make it a struggle for us. But at the end of the day, I think we're still going to win. And what really, really matters, this is trivial. The whole no shots on target, clean sheets, whatever. It's trivial compared to the points. That's what matters to us. Me personally, anyway. I can't speak for you or for anyone else. So as long as we get them points, I don't care. If it's 3-2,
I think 3 points is kind of the be all and end all, isn't it? Because hopefully Liverpool and City, we just got to get 3 points and just got to keep that distance, keep going. Hopefully they'll draw. Like we were saying before, I hope they draw. I hope Bournemouth draw, and I hope we win, regardless. If it's 4-3, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'd like to win 1-0, but 4-3, bring it on.
Yeah, it's same. If we have like a match we had against Luton 2 years ago, I'm happy with that. Okay, we win. Yeah. So again, shows
as long as we're not 3-1 down.
Yeah, obviously. What was that? You reminded me. What was that Reading score? The FA Cup that we ended up winning 7-5. How was it? 4-0 to them or 4-1 to them before we came back?
This it was something like, or was it 5-3 at half time or something? It was something daft like that. We won 7-5, didn't we?
Yeah, we won 7-5. Yeah, we won 7-5 on that match. But I'll always remember that because it was just one of the greatest comebacks.
Did Walcott get a hat-trick or 4 or something?
Yes, he got a hat-trick. Hat-trick. Right, okay, cool. We will leave it there, and we will be back on Sunday evening. So if you have been enjoying this episode, please let us know in the comments on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you want to drop a comment. If you haven't been liking it, then fair enough. It's entirely up to you. So. Well, thank you for giving it a test anyway. So, right, we'll go in. Bye-bye. Good night. See ya. Bye-bye. Stay safe. All that stuff.
Au revoir. Oui.
Love it.